All right, good afternoon, guys. Um, so this is your what you're gonna be doing for this internship, summer internship for 2026. Basically, we have a bunch of classes. This is an MMORPG, so a very very large project, and you guys are gonna be helping in real time to actually make an actual product. And I believe this will be very useful on your resume. And obviously, you guys can mention that you work with us on your LinkedIn page and everything. And we will actively try to support you guys. And if you do a great job, um, once in a it's not like a promise, but once in a while, sometimes we see some really fantastic job, and we usually share it on our on our page on LinkedIn on the LinkedIn platform. Um, There's also going to be some update on our website eventually, where you guys will be able to apply that directly and everything. Um, we do have a bunch of templates and whatnot that will soon be used to set up the website, but that's back burner work. Um, but right now, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be designing talents, um, and also keeping it lore rich and very entertaining for players pretty much. So you guys can have fun with this. You can choose to make your talent funny, you can choose to make it difficult or whatnot. But basically when you are designing your talent, let's just go over this. So this part is not important. This is the math part, basic multiplication, addition. So as you guys know, MMORPG usually suffer from power creep and balance issues. So this part here is supposed to help handle and basically ensure that that doesn't happen with the project. Now, each class, this here is a barbarian. There's a class. We call them trades instead of class. Ancestral trade is basically like what you do as that type of uh, person in the society pretty much. You have bards, you have clerics. When you hear their name, you know what they do, which is kind of like their trade, like their work, what they do pretty much. Um, so, hero encounter, all right, this is part of the lore. In the lore, like the lore is the description of the activity that a person has to do for them to get rewarded the points pretty much. So there are heroic encounters. These are events, activities. All right, a live event that occur regularly, which avatars can perform, which they can go to and perform feats and pretty much tasks, pretty much. And then when they perform those tasks, they'll be able to earn points from that, and that's how they gain that heroic feat points pretty much. So you go to a heroic encounter, you perform a heroic deed or whatever. Um, it could be a personal heroic deed, or it could be like a large scale thing. For example, like maybe walking around. It doesn't have to be at a specific large event, but basically you can walk around and regrow plants pretty much. If you're a druid, for example, a cool thing you can do for the druid, like their talents is you could tell them to go around and regrow plants or fix stuff, remove blight from on creatures and stuff like that. Like pretty much everything that happens as a during a heroic encounter should be something that is associated with the class, with the trade, and basically it should be something that you will expect that type of trade type person pretty much to do pretty much. um Again, you can come up with this, or you can do research and see what things are. But you guys are already developers, game developers, and talented individual. I know you guys already know what this is, but I just want to go over it. So you get a hero encounter feats reward from encounters in the open game world, and you can spend those on your basic feats, and that's how you get a points. All right. Now, so this here, um, these are random stacks that you give. These are points that you give as damage, healing, and whatnot. And total hero encounter, that grant feed accomplishment points. So how a feat acquired from barbarian. There's the historic. All right, so feats pretty much. Your feat is basically like a big deal thing that you did, um, and then it basically becomes part of your personal story, pretty much part of your personal history, pretty much as a barbarian. If you're a cleric, you do a cleric, you do a feat, you go to a hero encounter, and you do the feat there. That becomes your personal lore, your personal story. So to help players kind of like connect with their classes or whatnot, we have a personal statement. All right. So each class has like an ego statement for each deed that it perform, and then um, pretty much if this was a YouTube, if there was a YouTuber making a video about this, they will pretty much, and they want to role play, for example. So there are a lot of things being considered when we are building these things here, like streaming, role playing, and whatnot. These are all essential features that are supposed to be part of a game, and so these are the things that were considered when we were designing this first pretty much talent here, and that's what you should consider too when you are designing your part. Um, so in art, so this part people are not supposed to see, but basically all the classes are supposed to be balanced. So you can give them random stats and basically give them random procking. Prog is basically like something that has to happen for an a status to be active. Pretty much, when I say proc, that's what it means. So if you do like 2 damage every third damage, proc a critical strike. All right, that's a damage proc right there. So I hope you guys understand. Doesn't stack until max. So these are like things you can add, like limiters you can add to the basic classes and stuff like this. All right. So if something doesn't stack, it means that once they earn 1 point, so every feat level up they stack up 5 times. All right. So each time you get 1 point, right? Each time you get one, that means you get one of these. This whole stat here, you get one of them. All right, the whole thing. That happens once, and then it happens again, and then it happens again. So you can basically multiply this like 5 times, and then that's the total amount that a person gets, and stuff like that. So if the stat doesn't stack, right? That's the limiter on it. So if it doesn't stack until max, that means the max here is gonna be 5 until this person get 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5, right? Once they get 5 out of 5, that's when this full stat will be available. So it doesn't stack until max. That's what it means. All right. Now you don't have to worry because gamers automatically notice and they understand what this is and stuff. And then it doesn't stack. All right, so it doesn't stack means like no matter what you do, you won't be able to increase this. That's the default amount and stuff like that. So you can add these to add limiter to the trade. All right. Now another thing you gotta consider. Well, I think there's too much, but basically, each one of these classes, each one of these trade have their advantage from a like where they are standing, their positioning. All right, so you can consider that like a barbarian uses swords, right? They use great swords. So and pretty much they also have guards, right? Pretty much you can use your sword to protect yourself against attack. So a frontal guard boost is pretty good for them. And you just add this term here just to say, oh, your defense is gonna be like that, right? And key term here is you see defense, right? Some classes don't use defense, right? You can change the letter from defense to something else like block, or you can change it to like mystic shield or whatever, right? It's just a title, like a name or something for it, right? So for cleric, you could change it to like a divine shield or something. uh I don't think clerics use like they are that good at defending themselves. Let me show you something else. Here, right? We have key. All right. Monk also use defense, but then you have key here instead of hit point region, right? So these things are the same stats, but the naming for them is different, right? It depends on the type of trade that is on, right? A barbarian doesn't really know much about chi or ki or whatever like that, so we just call it healing, right? A monk class, somebody who plays a monk class is thinking about like karate and basically like martial art and type of stuff like that. So you say ki is gonna help make them more enthusiastic about playing that character and make them more connected with the character that they play. So consider things like that when you are making your your stats and stuff like that. Right. So what you're gonna be doing is I'm gonna post this in a Google Drive as an example. All right, and then you guys are gonna go over this, and you can use the video as reference, and you also have this right here to go off of, and you can pretty much come up. This is what you're gonna be doing. You're gonna be coming up with an ego statement. All right, for the feat. All right, you can look at the title of the feat. This is on-arm defender. All right, you know that it's about defending, and you know about like barbarians not using like a shield or whatever, right? So, and you know that barbarians are um, hard headed, like they are brutes pretty much, right? So you consider all of those things. You're gonna do a research on the type of trade this is, and you're gonna to characterize the person, like the personality type into the statement. All right, so that if somebody who's really all about playing barbarians pick up a barbarian class, they're gonna feel like they are the actual barbarian in the game. All right, so all of this contribute towards a rich lore. All right, and it helps people connect with their characters, and that's what we're trying to do here. And so yeah, so in this example, I stood between danger and the defenseless, using my body as a shield. I became a defender of the arm through repeated action of protection and stuff like that. It's just a statement and stuff like that. Like, obviously, this person is not doing this exactly as it is written real time, but basically, they went to a hero encounter and they fought, and there were like probably other players there too, and they ended up like fighting along with these players. So all of this kind of plays into the overall gameplay pretty much. And another key thing that you have to have in a statement is how many, basically the tasks that a person has to do. So one sentence or two sentences for the ego statement, and then the third one, the third sentence should be an exact stat-based statement that shows what the person has to do, right? So it says I've slain about, and it's also like in a past tense type thing. All right. So my aggression, I've slain. All right. So as you can see, like you. It don't worry about like finding different terms. I mean different like lines or whatever. Just you can just say I've slain, I've slain, I've slain, I've slain, I've healed, I've regenerated, I've removed sickness from so and so animal or whatever as a druid, and things like that. So the exact thing that the person has to do should be in here. And as you guys could have seen in the past streams and whatnot, I was collecting creatures we have over maybe 300 or something creatures for the project right now, and all of these creatures need to be categorized, and they have to be documented, and stats, everything had to be set up for them. And basically this is what I've been doing. As you can see here, like probably this is like 15 or something. And then we have all of these, and we have tentacle creatures, we have furry creatures like bear, uh horses, and like rats, things like that. And then you have a bunch of things like plant type creatures, right? um like large plant that actually move, walk around and whatnot. You have orc, uh well, this probably is probably something. It's probably maybe it's an orc that actually looked like a tree, because I saw something like that too, like a plant type creature like that. Yeah, forest golems, and basically these are categorization. All right, it's not actually an orc that looked like a tree. Um, it was I think it was like a really green type orc with like outfits and whatnot that kind of looked like it fit that category. And then when you have these um giants, like stuff that were made by the giants and giant creature themselves as well. You have horses and whatnot, battle horses, and all of these things. All right, so we have like mm, 200, bro. Um, maybe 200 or more creatures in there. And then we have some for pantheons. All right, these are like deities, and we also set them up. Whereas divinity, all right, it's probably below. It's in the lore. It's in the lore here. All right, yeah. All right, so these are dimensions. Actually, it's not. Is it here? It's not here. Dimension one. All right, I don't think it's here. I'm getting carried away, but I hope you guys got the point. Where there's it. Divinity cards. All right. I don't know what I'm clicking. I'm probably giving up a lot of things. I'm giving out too much. Anyways, these are the deities and whatnot, and you have their parasite forms. Like you're gonna fight these creatures. I mean these deities, and they have of different uh like form that they can enter into, and you're gonna fight those forms instead of the actual deity. Because fighting a deity might not be the like the best choice. Like it won't look nice. Because you obviously look up to characters like Zeus and whatnot. Like fighting Zeus, I don't think it will feel good for people. Like you don't want to be beating up your heroes. So I decided to have like a different form that's like an infestation form that that is actually part of them, that kind of overtakes them, and then you have to fight that instead of the actual deity itself, because it just it's just better that way. um anyway, so what was I talking about? As you can see, there's a lot. It's a lot, right? All right, so I'm gonna post this. You guys can take turns reviewing this. Right, you have the title of the feat. You have the basic stats. I don't think you guys need it. Well, you guys can do this if you want, and you should like so you don't have to have variety in this, but you can try if you want. All right. So there's the name of it, and then passive stat increase per level, and then you have self, like the stats that apply to yourself. So if you are in melee position as a barbarian, you'll be doing this amount of damage. If you are defending yourself, you'll be able to defend yourself for this amount, which stacks up, obviously up to 5, as you can see here. And mid range, if you're in mid range position as a barbarian, this also you get this, you get this, and you get this. And then for allies, all right, because heroic activities they do in groups, or like it helps with like grouping up and all of that thing that I really can't talk about. It's a whole lot of things that are going on with this decision making, all of this information that you're seeing here that I really can't explain all because it's just too much. So ally debuff, or obviously you won't be going around debuffing your ally. It means that you're taking stats away from them. All right, you aren't doing that. Ally buff, on the other hand, against non-avatar, all right, against non-player. All right, obviously, this term is in here because we are trying to redesign our platform. Eventually, the platform is going to turn into something much more relatable, like, and you can interact with it and go to various places in the real world, and actually it's a lot more that is going to be happening on the platform, and we just want to start in the project itself. So you have avatar, which is the player and stuff like that, in the 3D space, and these are the stats that you give to your allies. All right, you give them this, you give them this, doesn't stack, you give them this. All right, this part you can change these to whatever you want them to be. In the end, the players will always be given these stats. Right? Every single class will be given something like this. Alright, you're gonna be changing defense instead of defense. You're gonna change that to maybe block or something like that. Uh, and then you have healing, which is key or whatever, and physical damage or magic damage and stuff like that. If you are on a magic damage doing character, a mage or whatever, like a sorcerer or something. All right, and all of these, I think they have their title already there. All right, for them. And if you have any question, you can let me know. So ally buff, you have all of these in mid range. You give these. All right, so the reason why this is like this is because Barbarian is a mid range character in a balanced tree. I don't think you guys need access to that, but let me see, where is it? Combat damage. All right, combat and damage here. All right. Uh, balance stats, effectiveness, combat category. Where is it? This is it's somewhere down here, probably, or effectiveness, balance, splitting stats, game book, combat stats, effectiveness calculation. Mm. All right. Oh, here it is. Okay, so I don't feel like showing this, but here it is, guys. It kind of seems like there is supposed to be more characters coming out. Like as you can see, we have stuff like these supposed to come out, but for now, right? This is what it is. All right. So Barbarian is a protection and defense type character. Uh, so protect, defend, basically same thing. What you want to worry about is their positioning. All right, barbarians um, attack from mid range and melee, so they are pretty much good in that position. All right, in range they are ranked C, as like the worst. Uh, Mid range they are B plus, and melee they are A. All right, bards, protect, defense, and I think support. Right. They have range as their positioning style. In range they have A as their ranking. In mid range they have C, and in melee they are B. All right, so I guess you guys can look at this and reference it. I'm not gonna add this into the Google Drive because um, this is something that players are supposed to eventually discover. And right now, even showing this is kind of spoiling things for them. All right, so PDS, protect, defense, support. All right, supporting is like healing and stuff like that. Or giving shield to, right? As a paladin, for example, paladin give mitigation type shields, and barbarians focus on defense stats. All right, so paladin will be giving shield in their protection state instead of defense stats. All right, so yeah, mid range as well, melee. Paladin scores C in range. They have B plus in mid range, and in A they have in melee they have A. For damage dealing characters like these, they have protect and defense. Don't really worry about these. Um, it's just a limiter that is on them. Just saying that they cannot support, they can give healing and stuff like that to other people. They are mid range as well, and like if you think about it, it's hard enough. You might know like why they are balanced like this. You have range, they have B plus because they are damage type. In mid range, they have C plus because they are not supposed to be close to danger and stuff like that. Unless they are supposed to, they are these the play style for a rogue is supposed to go in and then get out, right? And then finish if somebody is like really far and getting away, right? So all of these things players are supposed to understand. Like they will understand this. So I don't really want to share this, but you guys can watch the video and reference it that way. And then melee A plus and stuff like that. So uh, yeah. So that's it. This year is gonna be. You guys can take your time on this. You can it's gonna be split up. All right. Each trade is gonna be given to one person at a time. You can pick the one that you want to do, and then you do it. If you are done, you move to the next one. It's a lot. All right. We have multi-classing, bonuses, which is something else. When we eventually get to that, we're gonna talk about it. And then you have the nine labors. Basically stuff that you do for the deity, and then you get divinity cards and stuff like that that you use. These will be NFTs that you can actual players can actually sell in the market that we're gonna have on the platform and whatnot. Um, yeah. So each one of these, the expectation is you can take a week to finish them, or you can go at your own pace, guys. My goal here is pretty much to let you guys gain experience and pretty much understand like what it takes to make a game and what it takes to contribute to an actual video game and whatnot. We used to have a lady, Madison, who used to help with like 3D modeling and stuff like that. And I used to introduce students to her, and she will like give them basic modeling tasks and they will do it, and then she review it and then help them pretty much. So basically that's kind of like that for this. Obviously when you give me back the product, I will obviously have to look over and correct things and stuff like that. So take your own time. The main goal is to pretty much have fun and just take this time to gain experience and just enjoy your future pretty much, because it's what you came here because you like game design, and pretty much um that's the expectation.